This program is about paranormal mysteries. Some of the themes may not be suitable for younger audiences. Parental discretion is advised. Whenever possible, actual news clips and eyewitness accounts are used. The opinions expressed and comments of viewers are for educational and entertainment purposes only. No offense is intended. Proceed at your own risk.
Mic check 1 2 3. 1 2 3 into the 4. PacLives 2 is in the house and something very clever. You think of it. You send it to me. I'll fill it in. How you doing, El Romero? What up, Dolphins Cakes? West Side. Anyways, let's keep going. Yeah, what it do, guys? Today, whatever time it is, man. Time is cyclical. Learn and recognize the earth, the wind, fire. You know? Okay. Pepper. I think Pepper's in the kitchen. He's not allowed in the kitchen. Pepper, get out of the kitchen. Are you in the kitchen? Sorry, guys. I apologize. That's just very distracting. I'm going to go get him in a minute when we play his videos. Anyways, guys, let's just get right into it, okay? Before we talk about Andrew Basiago, time travel, let's get into Jeff Bezos investing in immortality technology, El Romero, Dollface Case. Can you believe that? Yeah, we should be live. Okay, anyways, let me go check on Pepper real quick. Jeff Bezos' new startup company aims to cheat death. Oh, yeah, you get out of there, buddy. Go. Stay out of that kitchen. Alrighty, sorry about that, guy. Anyways, the billionaire entrepreneur is channeling his money into an immortality technology. Mankind has been obsessed with immortality for thousands of years. Yeah, and if you guys don't know about it, in Celebrity Clones, one of the videos, they have like 500,000 views, I believe. There's a little clip of Og Telly's talking about, a lot of people are like, why would they even develop, this certain technology, that certain technology? And Og Telly's talks about one of the ends, besides the this more sick, perverse side of it. One of the ends to it is they want to create like a fountain of youth to create immortality through technology. So, anyways, I just thought I'd mention that. Anyways, the latest entrepreneur to get in the action of immortality is Amazon founder Jeff Bezos, who, not content with sending tourists into space, is now looking to find a way to live forever as well. His new startup company, Alto Labs, formally launched this week and is headed up by Hal Barron, the former chief scientific officer at GlaxoSmithKline. And that's a pretty big company. Quote, I'm deeply honored to have been offered this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to lead such a unique company with a transformative mission to reverse disease, he said. Bezos has also recruited 2 Nobel Prize winners in his quest for immortality, and has revealed that the firm has already secured $3 billion in funding. Whether or not it will ultimately succeed as a mission, however, remains to be seen. So that's just a story I literally picked up yesterday. Dollface Cakes, El Romero. Hey, what up, MD? How you doing? I didn't see you come in. Sorry about that. So that's a story from yesterday, or last night, actually. I was reading, And let's get into some secret government programs before we talk about anything else. And I got a lot of videos I want to show you guys, so I hope you enjoy them. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it. MD says, hey, Pepper. Yeah, Pepper's over here. He was trapped in the kitchen. We put a baby gate up, you know, MD, and he somehow got past the baby gate. What up, 4-5er? Little Pepper got past the baby gate, and I went in there, and he was in there trapped, right? And he was all scared. I was, Pepper, you know. He like wouldn't move. It was cute. Anyways, if you don't know Andrew Basiago, if I went and Google searched it, guys, and hey, what up, Lindsay Hick? We got MD 405 or El Romero Dolphus cakes in this piece, but I went and searched Andrew Basiago's secret government programs on Google to see what came up, and the first thing that used to come up when you would type in Andrew Basiago, you know, time travel, Andrew Basiago secret programs, Andrew Basiago, you know, secret government programs, whatever it was, it would, the number one would be andrewbasiago.net, I believe was the old website, and I could be wrong, but that's what happened. You know, I didn't search it a lot. I searched it once or twice in Google years ago, and I believe, if I remember correctly, it was andrewbasiago.net, and it was a little what do you call it? A link explaining that he was trying to become president, and you know, it's called Andrew Basiago, A Time for Truth, or something like that. And anyways, if you go look up that now, what I typed in Andrew Basiago secret government programs, the number one link on Google out of 305,000 results, is that all? You think there'd be way more than that? The number one link is Chris Hardwick making fun of it on Comedy Central. And if you don't see it, it says underneath where it says Midnight with Chris Hardwick video clip. It says extended, uncovering secret government programs, uncensored, and then you can see where they try to, you know, like make fun of it is the comedian's puzzle over presidential candidate, you know. So that's lets you know they make fun of him for, you know, and it's not very good comedy. Or else I would have to believe that show Midnight with Chris Hardwick could still be on the air. It could be for all I know. I never heard of it before this. Never heard of it after this. So you guys let me know. But I think it's very telling when you go search that into Google. The first thing that comes up is a Comedy Central clip where they're making fun of him and joking about him. Like, it kind of, if I was a conspiracy theorist, it kind of feels like, I could be wrong, it's my opinion, it kind of feels like that's there on purpose. When you go to try to find out about Andrew Basiago, the Andrew Basiago net, which I couldn't even find in the first like few pages I looked, is hidden, gone. But now you find Comedy Central skits only making fun of him the only time they mention him. I just thought that was interesting, and we're gonna listen to more about Andrew Basiago here in a second. If you don't know who he is, he's a really respected lawyer from, where is he from? I forget exactly where he's from in America, but he's from America. And when he was around 40-something years old, he said he got his memories of him when he was younger doing these, you know, in these government secret programs. And the one thing in this video we're going to watch is very, very crazy to me. You guys let me know. I remember Mr. West from the PacLives channel. He told me he used to get, because I one time confided in all the great viewers, that when I was about 11 or 12 years old, maybe 10 years old, I started getting the worst migraines in the world. And like I was telling people, you know, I'm very, you know, try to be faithful and stuff, and you know, religious in my own way. I don't try to convert nobody or nothing. You know, I believe what I believe, and I don't need no one's approval. You guys know that. But that's the only time I ever didn't want to be alive. Let's just say that was when I was a little 10-year-old, and those headaches were so bad, the pain was so bad. I remember I turned to my dad one time and I said, I don't. This pain's too bad. I don't even want to. You know, I don't want to be alive anymore. And you know, and I realize now that I'm older, if I had a kid say that to me, I'd be like heartbroken. Like, oh my goodness, you know, the pain must be. But it was the worst pain I ever got. Mr. West and other people, I think, in the live stream have told us they used to get like headaches and stuff. Uh, Anyways, you're going to hear Andrew Basiago said that that's one of the ways they do try to suppress your memories, is give you such a bad headache that you can't, anytime you even think about it, or it's even brought up, it triggers a bad pain. And so you guys, we'll watch that in a minute. Lindsay says, I was watching some videos about Adele being a clone. I'm like a year too late, but it's still interesting, LOL. Well, thank you for checking that. You my videos about that? Is that what you're talking about, Lindsay? Supreme, what up, Supreme? Says my G sup puck. Are we speaking of jump rooms to Mars? Oh yeah, they're all over. Allegedly, there's ones to Mars, ones to the moon, ones to other planets we don't even have names for. But oh yeah, those are the jump rooms. We're about to see a video on that. Very interesting, Supreme. Yeah, much love, buddy. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Yeah, I hope you guys are doing great. 405 or what up, buddy? Says I got a file in my computer that holds images and videos of time travel, teleportation, and portals, also clones and reptiles. The file is 18 gigabytes. Oh my goodness, 405. Really? Yeah. Mine is, yeah, I think I just ran out of memory. Yeah, so I have that same kind of file, but it's not just, I mean, that folder, but it's like basically my downloads folder. And it's, yeah, you wouldn't even believe it. I had to start deleting stuff because my computer was messing up because, you run out of memory. But oh, yeah, man. And I got to believe I have around a couple terabytes probably worth of stuff on mine. And then I got, a couple terabytes worth on the other computer, the $1,000 one that's from 10 years ago that's still laying over here. Anyways, 405, good comment. N.A.L. Romero says, shout out to Pepper. Yeah. And then El Romero says, do you think 5G towers probably give you headaches? I mean, I wouldn't doubt it if someone told me, a scientific theory about it. But I don't know, man. That's a good question. What do you think? Four Revolver says, mud falls, malted building, etc. Sonic sound. Oh, that's cool. Four Fiver says, I have to buy new hard drives. Oh, yeah, man. That probably would be the smart thing to do. I just buy new computers, 4 or 5, yeah. So I try to get, because, a computer from 10 years ago, besides the hard drive being, that generation of technology, all the components are too. So that's why I figure I don't ever do it, but like I got lucky enough to get a new desktop a few years ago, and it was, had a lot of memory. That's what I remember. And it looked just like one of those iMacs, but it was like what is it, an HP? It's like a knockoff. It's not an iMac. It looks very similar to one of those old school, like iMacs from 2016. It's not, trust me. Anyways, we're going to watch that video in a minute, guys. Stick with us. And I was just telling everyone how if you search Andrew Basiago, it's very telling. Look at the #1 result. It's a comedy show called Midnight with Chris Hardwick on Comedy Central where they make fun of him. So you tell me, I'm not trying to convince nobody. I'm showing you the evidence, and it is what it is. Anyway, Supreme says, I remember the first time I ever saw or heard of a jump room was in the Disney movie John something. Can't remember the full movie title. We all know there are real truths in movies sometimes. Oh, yeah, man. And the other one that I was doing that I pulled down because I kind of went off a little bit in it. Supreme, you were in it yesterday. It was on the same subject pretty much, but I was talking about how there's what was it, Doctor Strange, one of those new Marvel movies, one of the more recent ones. In the scene, he goes down to like one of these underground military bunkers, and he's looking for something. And when he goes down into the building, he hears a voice, say, "Doctor," what's his name, John Strange or whatever, John Strange, and he goes into the building, and it's like the only way they could hold a person's consciousness on like a computer chip in the 50s and back in then was like took a computer the whole size of like a big giant room. But anyways, in that Marvel movie, he walks in and that's what it is. It's a whole computer, an old 50s style computer, takes up the whole room, and it's got this rich old dude, old military. He was high up in the military, I guess. Consciousness on it. So, anyways, I thought that was very crazy. They put that in the video, Supreme. Anyways, thank you guys so much for being here. Much love to everyone out there. Please hit that like so more people will see this. Without further ado, I apologize for the 2 minutes. Yeah, if you didn't know about the 2 to 4 minutes in the beginning of disclaimers and quiet and whatnot. I'm sharing it while I'm making sure I'm online, and then I'm sharing it. So that's what that's about. Thank you everyone for being understanding. Besides Andrew Basiago, we're going to talk about another thing I can't stand, but apparently, I go about it the wrong way. I don't know. I'm not trying to hurt anyone's feelings, nothing. I'm just letting the viewers, you guys know what you know is very important to me. And, you know, I don't know if I go about it the right way or not, but a lot of people, when I expose them or tell their story, uh, they get very upset at me. Like, you know, and if anything, they should be upset at themselves because the way they presented the story. You know what I'm saying? I'm just presenting your story the same way I took it in. You know what I'm saying, guys? You shouldn't attack the messenger. Anyways, check this video out. Very interesting. This is about Andrew Basiago and his time travel exhorts. This is from 2000. What did I say? Escapades. Yeah, whatever. His adventures, not escorts. I said escorts. This is about him talking about, you know, going back. I believe he mentions Barack Obama. What else does he mention in this one? It's very interesting. He mentions those people who were in the secret programs will have may have extreme migraines like him. Or does he say that? Or I don't know. He might not say that, but he explains how he had extreme migraines and it kept him from remembering what he had been through. So, anyway, Supreme says, appreciate you, Pac. Oh, much love, buddy. Appreciate you. Glad I found your new channel. Blessings, brother. Stay warm. And say, oh, yeah, man. Is it snowing where you're at, Supreme? Yeah, buddy. You too, man. All right, guys. Check this video out. We'll be right back. And please leave your comments. I'll try to read them and get back to them. Thank you, everyone, for coming through. Check this one out. This is called Andrew Basiago's interview with Studio 10. And it's from 2019. And, he talks about, Barack Obama and other things that are very interesting. Check this out.
Time travel. For decades, Hollywood has been obsessed with time travel, but what do you guys think at home? Well, 51% of you do believe in time travel. Well, Andrew D. Basiago claims that when he was a child, he participated in a CIA time travel program that saw him taken back to Gettysburg in 1863 when Lincoln was delivering his address, plus to Washington the night of Abraham Lincoln's assassination, and to Jerusalem when Jesus was crucified. But wait, there's more. Andrew also maintains that he was part of a program that took him to Mars where he sighted living beings. Andrew joins us now via Skype from California. Andrew, welcome to Studio 10.
Hello.
Now, let's start with the time travel. Convince me that what you're claiming is true.
Well, that's a very broad question. Time travel was achieved by the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency. Actually, 8 modalities of time travel were fully developed by 1970. I was brought in as a 3rd grader in 1969-70. And by the way, I did not go to Jesus' time. We saw Jesus' ministry, crucifixion, and resurrection on a video of a chronovisor image, a holographic image.
Okay.
But I was, in fact, sent to Gettysburg and Washington's time and also to the Lincoln assassination at Ford's Theater because they were testing whether they were accessing the same point in time. But my story is true. I was brought into the project by my late father, Raymond F. Basiago, who was essentially the chief technical consultant between the Ralph M. Parsons Company and the CIA on the theory and practice of Tesla teleportation, which was one of the 8 forms of time travel that were fully developed by 1970.
So, Andrew, can you tell us...
This was the project...
I was just going to ask, can you just tell us in basic terms, how does time travel actually work? What is the science of it? How did they send you back in time?
Well, to go back in time, they couldn't use teleportation because I would have been stranded there because it would have required a teleporter to come back to the present. So that's why...
Anyone there tell you weren't from that era?
Yes, we were visible to those in that era, and we were interacting in the normal sense because we could be seen and we could see others in that location.
So were you just sort of, were you in a vehicle or a vessel of some description when you went back in time or when the hologram came up, or was it just you and then suddenly this scene appears around you and then people start talking to you and stuff?
We would stand on a stage and they would bring a cubicle hologram around us. And we would instantaneously go to whatever past event or ultimately future event was focused in the hologram. So we were accessing the past, for example, as a superluminal superimposition on the past.
Right, but
holographically.
it wasn't like a 3D movie, though. You were actually going back in time.
Yes, we were. There was another device called a plasma confinement chamber that was developed by Dr. Sterling Colgate of the New Mexico Institute of Science and Technology. In that device, we would walk into a field of radioactive plasma. We would experience collapsing, like going through a trap door, and we would go through about 30 minutes of wormholing, just as was sort of depicted on What the Bleak Do We Know, the documentary.
Yep.
And then we would find ourselves in a past location, and that was the device that was used to send me back to Gettysburg. I then walked from the countryside outside of Gettysburg, of Lincoln at Gettysburg, from Lincoln's time. The child on the front left foreground of that picture was me, and it was confirmed as me by the CIA in the early 1970s. I am not making this up.
Wow.
The United States government had different forms of time travel already operational by 1970. I'm simply telling what happened.
Wow.
So
Seeing it right
that's
there.
you in that picture we were just looking at. Are you the only participant who remembers? And how did you avoid your memory being erased?
Well, they did attempt to impose severe headaches. I actually was sort of put through something that I would describe almost as torture when I left the project in 1972. They put a series of needles up my spine and induced a terrible headache and had me talk about what I had done in the program for like 4 hours. And this, I believe, was an attempt to prevent me from remembering by inducing a severe headache whenever I would remember what happened. But I defeated that mind control, that torture, if you will, and I was able to remember my experiences throughout my whole life. I'm now 57. I was brought into this project when I was 6 years old. We're talking about a 50-year or more cover-up.
Yeah. And Andrew, is it possible to travel forward through time or only back?
When I was on the project, they used these different technologies that had previously been used just to access the past, and they developed them to access the future. And the farthest I went in the future via Stargate, which is an advanced teleporter, was to the year 2045, where we were picking up scrolls. They were data scrolls of events, summaries of events and conditions and so forth, and prominent personalities occurring in history between the mid-1970s and the mid-2040s. And we were then jumping back to give the United States Department of Defense essentially a history of the future.
Oh.
So
Andrew,
this is an important aspect of what I've been revealing, is that the U.S. intelligence community has been on a nonlinear basis now since the early 1970s.
Andrew, you maintain that the US has been teleporting individuals to Mars for decades and that you crossed paths with Barack Obama during one of your trips. Have you tried to get the former president to confirm this?
Well, Bernard Mendez, who was one of the individuals trained with me and who was sometimes on the surface with me, went and spoke with President Obama through an intermediary, and he stated that he remembered being in the program in the 1980s. He remembered me vividly, but his memories were vague and dreamlike. They were for all of us regarding the Mars Jump Room program, because they were using the the American version, the reverse-engineered version of the Soviet LIDA device, which is a device that blocks memory. So all of us who were in the Mars program have been working through the memory blocks that were imposed. President Obama also promised that after leaving office, he would come forward and admit that he was in the Mars Jump Room program.
Wow.
I think his reluctance to talk about it when he was president was the fact that he was commander-in-chief of the U.S. military, and this was ultimately a military project. But yes, Obama was one of the jumpers. I brought forward 7 individuals who had been in the Mars Jump Room program. And by the way, one of the fascinating aspects about the program is that the mastermind behind the program was Howard Hughes.
Oh.
Howard Hughes did not die in 1976. He died in 2001. And I interacted with Howard Hughes at 999 North Sepulveda in El Segundo, California, where the West Coast Jump Room was located.
Wow. So billionaire Howard Hughes involved too. Look, to find out more, head to projectpegasus.net. And Andrew, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks, Andrew.
Thank you.
Alrighty, what did you guys think about that? Very interesting that he said Barack Obama told him that he was going to confess to being in these projects. So if you know anything about these, I followed it very this whole story. I followed it very closely. The White House officially on the record denied. If you go look up when Obama was president, the White House denied Basiago's story, but Barack Obama never, it was just the White House, his administration. So that's, what do you call it, plausible deniability 101, if you ask me. Well, what do you think? Well, let me be clear. Barack Obama comes on. Let me be clear. I was not in those secret programs, you know what I'm saying? And because he don't, it's all a big secret. And then when he's on his deathbed, he goes, he's dying from the Rona. Let me be clear. I was in those secret programs. Andrew Basiago is the most stand-up human being I've ever met. Damn this China flu. And he just dies, And they're like, oh, damn, Obama's a racist. He called it the China flu. Racist. They won't even care that he talked about, he confessed that, you see what I did there? No? You don't think that's funny? Whatever, man. Hey, what up, Karma Lee? Oh, it is. Like I said, I believe almost everything Basiago's. He's just such a stand-up dude, Supreme says, I've heard this guy give an interview, but this isn't what I heard Andrew speak of. Very cool. I'm surprised he hasn't been silenced yet. Pac, some people disappear. Oh, yeah, well, I mean, we explained, at the beginning of the show, that Basiago was talking about. They have a technology that gives you just immense headaches, and that's part of you forgetting or not remembering. You know what I'm saying? And he overcame that. It's probably because he's got like 160 IQ, and maybe everyone in the programs has the potential to overcome it. And I was just mentioning that I used to get, the worst. I mean, they called them migraines for a reason. They were like I told you guys, it was the worst pain. I could barely function. I just sat on a bed all day with the it was cool when you start off, like 10, 20 minutes, it's a cool towel, and then it turns hot, and then kept having them give me new towels, and that's all I did for like a month or two, and it was horrible, like I said, but that's just my experience. But Andrew Basiago, Mr. Basiago, talks about going through similar, but then he's overcame that and remembered a former life that he had. Well, basically a former life, because you got to realize he was 40-something when he remembered all this. And okay. Carmelie says it sounds true. Much love, Carmelie. 405er says LOL. I think 405er is laughing at the same thing I just noticed. You guys notice every time these people come in with these weird comments, they would have Russian names. And I would just dog them out for being Russian. I think they got sick of that. So look, their name is Rose Woods now. Oh, that doesn't sound very Russian. They go, what sounds American? These Russians, the Russian bots. I don't know, Vladimir. What sounds American to you? I think Rose Woods. That is a good sounding all-American name, Do it. Put Rose Woods instead of Get out of here, Russians. We know that's you, Rose Woods. We just getting Russian. You cool. Just why you gotta spam me, Girl, I know what I did was whack, but you don't just get your man back like that. Anyways, moving on. Anyways, guys, you want to know a little more about Andrew Basiago? Wrote a song about it, like the hit. Here it goes. No, actually, it's a video I made about it. So check this out, and we'll talk more about Andrew, Mr. Basiago, coming soon. This one's called Time Travel and Andrew Basiago featuring Og Tellys, I believe. So, all right, check this out, guys. We'll be right back. I'll be back to govern California. You know what I'm saying, guys? Jam, I got you, Arnold Schwarzenegger, whatever. You know, Schwarzer, whatever. That's what I call him. Hey, what up, Brittany? Arnold Schwarzenegger, whatever. You know, last name's racist. You know, the truest thing, my little baby girl, when she was about 5 years old, she come up to me. This is the realest ish she ever said to me. She come up to me. She goes, Daddy, you know that guy who's action movie star, Arnold, you know, whatever? And I go, you know, I don't, maybe, who, what are you talking? And she goes, he was the governor of California. And I was like, oh, yeah, you mean Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know, and I said his name. And she goes, Daddy, how come his last name is racist? And I said, damn, I broke it down, and it says the N-word right there. You think you slick, Arnold Schwarzenegger, whatever? You ain't slick, stupid. I got you pegged, dog. You a racist. Your name's racist. Everything about you is... I'm just kidding. That's a joke, guys. Arnold Schwarzenegger, whatever. I don't think he's a racialist. He's one of the good Russians. Is he Russian? He's one of the good, whatever he is, Siberians. What up, Lindsay? MD says, hi, Brittany. Yeah, guys, so check this video out. This goes a little bit more into detail about Mr. Basiago and his whole adventures. Og Tellys chimes in a little bit. You guys know Og Tellys. If Andrew Basiago's got 160 IQ, Og Tellys has got to have like 180 IQ. This dude is sick with it. I believe the term is Larry Bird's with it. You know what I'm saying, guys? When you just real sick with it, you know, you like just in the top 10% with it, then you Larry Bird's with it. You know, I should start saying you Og Tellys with it, because that dude... Okay, I love you guys. Check this out. We'll be right back.
So I was told near 2020, we will have a greater window for disclosure of temporal operations. Andy Basiago, who was assigned disclosure of temporal operations for this period,
In the movie Looper, Bruce Willis is hunted down by a younger version of himself.
Time travel has not yet been invented, but 30 years from now, it will have been.
Time travel, Hollywood science fiction? Or is it?
I have physically traveled in time.
Andrew Basiago is not acting.
We have. We did over 40 years ago.
The Vancouver, Washington attorney is on a mission to reveal what he calls a 40-year government cover-up of Project Pegasus. Where he says he was teleported back and sideways in time dozens of times.
I have the whole story. I have hundreds of facts. I can tell you what personnel were at what locations where which time travel device was being used.
And his time travel wasn't recent. It was when he was a kid.
I entered the program officially in the fall of 1969 as a third grader, age 7.
One of 140 kids, 60 adults, chrononauts as he calls them, including his dad, who joined him on his first jump.
My dad held my hand and we jumped through the field of energy, and we seemed to be moving very rapidly. But there was also a paradox. We seemed to be going nowhere at all.
Hold on tight, son.
The TV show Fringe aired a similar scene 2 years ago. Coincidence?
Did it?
There's paradoxes, unscientific claims, unbelievable stories and encounters on Earth and Mars. Meeting Barack Obama when the president was a teenager with a different name. Time traveling 6 times to the Ford Theater on the day President Lincoln was shot, but he didn't see it happen. And we're not done with Lincoln.
In fact, during one probe, the one to the Gettysburg Address, I was dressed as a Union Bugle Boy.
That's right, he was at the Gettysburg Address. He says this famous picture taken that day proves it. He says this Bugle Boy is him. It's the only visual evidence he provides for any of his travels. That's it.
I was physically at Gettysburg.
And what about that teleportation? He says Star Trek got it wrong. So Andy, I just got here via Star Trek teleportation, but that's not how you did it.
No, in fact, if you had just arrived via quantum teleportation, the Star Trek method of teleportation, you would have collapsed as a dead person.
Bashago weaves his tale with such conviction, I thought he's either a psychopathic liar, lunatic, or the fastest thinking science fiction writer on Earth.
A tunnel was opening up in time-space, just like you'd have a cavity inside a soap bubble being blown by a child. And when that bubble closed, we had been repositioned elsewhere in time-space on the face of the Earth.
Some would say Bashago is still living in a bubble, but he's put his professional reputation at risk claiming time travel isn't science fiction. He did it.
However, many people have been through the program, but without preparation or the knowledge of how to handle yourself mentally, the mind fractures. And that is another reason that children were used in the early projects that first explored how consciousness can be transferred in these systems that induce a temporal dislocation. You can view the past, and we're from the future. Humanity jumped back to experience the ancient past. This relates to free will and awakening the soul, because you can ask, what makes you think that this world is real? Only when the soul is awakened is it real. And so you could also say we're in a kind of parallel right now that is secondary to the original base timeline where humanity has been eternally. And so this is like an organic simulation that is being threatened by an artificial intelligence, where it is in a way an ancestor or a civilization simulation, where we came to remember who we are. And again, because in eternity, we would likely come up with ways to create interesting experiences. And in a way, this is one of those that kind of went awry. And it's because of secret groups who figured this out and chose to keep everyone asleep. There's no blame. It is decided that a parasite is responsible for all of this, but we must be accountable for our own actions. And in a way, the ego and the false reptilian brain or the false persona is the artificial intelligence that controls the illusion in our mind.
Okay, so that was a little more about Andrew Basiago. You want to know more Dollface Cakes, Karma Lee, 405er, Brittany, Lindsay, MD? Okay, let's listen to more. Let's check out some more. So I took a really long time with my hair. Can you tell? It's perfectly manicured. What do they call that, manicured? I manicure myself, ladies. No, sorry. I'll be quiet. Anyways, everybody's saying hi, and Dolphy says I had to shower, but I'm back. Ooh, girl. Ooh, Dollface Cakes. Oh, no, Dollface Cakes. Hope you ain't got that. You know what? I love you, Dollface Cakes. Garmer says this explains the Mandela effect. Oh, yeah, a lot of different factors. And Dollface Cakes said she has a small fever. So. Dollface Cakes says these guys are so brave. Oh, yeah. And Lindsay says, I'd love to know more. Okay, let's do this. We're going to watch out another video. And this one is actually the reason I titled this live stream this. It's about jump rooms. So you check these out. Jump rooms have been mistaken for alien crafts for years. From who was it, Supreme and others, have talked about in my live streams. A lot of people have mistaken, because they go to Mars and other places, they're said to and if you don't know what a jump room is, basically one version of these jump rooms that me and Supreme were talking about, was like you all sit in the room. It's a box. It looks like it's metallic. Allegedly, they flip a switch, whatever technology they got, and it's like an elevator. They said you kind of like feel like, you know, you're hovering a little bit. You know that feeling you get in an elevator when you're moving. But they said on the outside, they look like when they're going so fast. You know, they said it takes about 20 minutes. You're on Mars. But they said on the outside, because inside nothing changes. They said you can't tell it turns into a circle. It just keep looking pretty much the same. Anyways, on the outside, it does get circular looking, and that's what's mistaken for UFOs, Oliver. Anyways, Lindsay says, manicure, LOL, you silly sausage. Dollface says, no, I have a small infection in my abdomen. Oh, no, Dollface, I'm sorry to hear that, fam. Hope you feel better. We love you. Yeah, I'm sending out healing vibes to you if we can, you know. Lindsay says, they really are brave. These people could be risking their lives for speaking. Oh, yeah, and it's a new age, you know. So the old days, you know about the Phil Schneiders, the George Greens. Phil Schneider's was extra heinous because there was people dropping like flies from the projects, right? You know, the secret projects, and so he figured they were going to come after him, which I think they did, in my opinion. Phil Schneider, and but so in like the last few, or a lot of them actually, his what do you call those talks, conferences, speeches that he gave at, you know, different conferences and stuff. He would say at the end, just for the record, I love living, I love my life. I never have, and I never would consider hurting myself or doing anything like that. And he said, so if you ever hear that Phil Schneider offed himself or did anything like that, you know it's BS, you know. And so he did that at a bunch of shows, and everyone's like, oh, you know, it kind of became like a little thing, like, well, you know, we know where Phil stands, you know, he's going to keep doing conferences, he's going to give speeches, he's going to do it till, you know, which it seemed like they were, like, you know, just like with Bob Lazar and other people, you get phone calls from mystery people, you know, breathing hard, threatening your life and stuff. He saw all that, and then one day, yeah, what was it, in the early 90s, late 90s sometime, or late 80s, Phil Schneider was found, it was made to look like he had offed himself. And everybody who was, you know, seeing him at these conferences knew him in real life. Were like, that's not, no, and even to this day, people like me and others who know Phil Schneider know that's, I mean, how blatant can you be? The dude literally in his conferences is saying, I would never do anything to hurt myself. Because, did I put Patreons? This guy. Anyways, guys, much love, Lindsay and Dollface Cakes. Dollface Cake says, I hate elevators. Absolutely hate them. Oh, you do? Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. All right, guys, so let's check out Andrew Basiago talking about jump rooms. We'll be right back.
3 additional summers of experience were embedded into those years. And those were the summers of 1971, of 1973, accessed from 1971, and then summer of 1972. So I actually gained an additional 9 months of experience, of life experience, as a result of the 3 time loops that were effectuated using Tesla teleportation between New Mexico and then back to New Jersey. I didn't see any dinosaurs, so I started walking along this ridge line that was slowly going upward in elevation. And I walked for about 10 minutes. And that revealed one of the paradoxes of chronovision, which is you could walk beyond the ambit of the laboratory. In other words, I didn't collide with the wall of the laboratory there in Morristown, New Jersey, and smack my face. I could walk in the unbounded way that one would if one was outdoors. But in this case, I was outdoors in the year 100 million BC.
Hello, I'm Alfred Lambermont Weber, and we're here at EXO University with Washington lawyer and early time-space explorer Andrew D. Basiago. And this is part of an exouniversity.org forum. The Jump Room. 3 participants discuss the CIA's Teleportation Visitation program of the 1980s with Andrew D. Basiago, Bernard Mendez, William B. Stillings, and myself, Alfred Lambremont Weber, as moderator. In this class, in this segment, which is entitled The CIA Jump Room Program 1980 to 83 History, we explore with Andrew D. Basiago the history of that program. Andy, please describe your recruitment and involvement in DARPA's Project Pegasus, 1968 to 73.
Well, I think the first thing that we should distinguish for today's presentation is that Project Pegasus, under the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, was the U.S. time-space program at the time of its emergence in the mid to late 1960s. She said, "Ray, they were crucifying my Lord. How do you expect me to act?" And he said, "I know, Connie, but we also have images." He said, "My team retrieved images that 3 days later, there's a flash of light in Jesus' crypt, 2 angels appear, Jesus stands up, and all 3 of them push the stone away, and Jesus walks out of his crypt." And she said, you're kidding, Ray. He says, "No, we also have images of the resurrection of Jesus." Now, I didn't see any dinosaurs, so I started walking along this ridge line that was slowly going upward in elevation. And I walked for about 10 minutes. And that revealed one of the paradoxes of chronovision, which is you could walk beyond the ambit of the laboratory. In other words, I didn't collide with the wall of the laboratory there in Morristown, New Jersey, and smack my face. I could walk in the unbounded way that one would if one was outdoors. But in this case, I was outdoors in the year 100 million BC. So I looked over to my left, and I realized that my father was standing there dressed as a Pennsylvania farmer. And I turned to him and said, "Dad, I didn't know that you were going to be here too." And he turned to me and said, "I'm not your pa, boy," because he was dealing with the contingency of discovering that I was present at the Gettysburg location that he had been sent to several years earlier. And later, back at our home in Morris Plains, he explained that it was when I ran into you at Gettysburg that I realized you were going to be in the program, but I could see that it was several years in the future because you were older than yourself back at the house. So that was an odd experience because I didn't expect my father to be there because I just interacted with him back at East Hanover with Dr. Colgate. So I then went over to the left side of the dais again, and I had this encounter with 2 Union officers who questioned me about what regiment I was attached to and where it was bivouacked. And I not only couldn't tell them where my regiment was or what it was, but I didn't even know what bivouac means. So I said to them, "What's bivouac, sir?" And they ended up laughing at me when they realized, they thought I was shell-shocked, and so they just didn't harass me any further. So I then, having had these 3 encounters and having some attention cast my direction, I then walked about 100 paces diagonally from the front of the dais. I turned my back to the dais, knowing that Lincoln would soon be arriving because many people had gathered at this point. And I stood with my left foot forward and my right foot to the right to disguise the size 16 men's shoes that I had been outfitted in.
I'm Alfred Weber. I'm on the board of Exo University, and I'm also a faculty member, and I'm here with my distinguished colleague, Andrew D. Basiago, who will go more deeply into his background, who is also a board member and a faculty member at Exo University. Tesla-based teleportation and time travel. We'll be learning more about that. These are devices that the U.S. government has had for the last 40 years. Also, we know that gray extraterrestrial and some of the upper dimensional ethical extraterrestrials, Pleiadian, interdimensional ships, for example, also have time travel and teleportation capabilities. Welcome to the launch of Exo University. I think this is a really appropriate launch for our initial forum on an introduction to time travel with an emphasis on teleportation. We're doing it here on April 22nd, which is Earth Day. We're doing it in the roundhouse, which is a former railroad roundhouse, which is the transportation system of the last 2 or 3 centuries. And we're talking about teleportation, which will be the world transportation system of the not too distant future, which was actually developed about 40 years ago, as we'll explore, in the last century. So we're, as Andy said, we're already behind. So I think this is all a wonderful framework and context within which to launch EXO University, which is a worldwide online streaming video continuing education entity for persons of all ages in exosciences, sci-sciences, and exopolitics.
Hey, what up, guys? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Remember that nerd? Can you hear me now? Shut up, nerd. I'm just kidding. We're kidding, nerd. Don't report me. It's a joke, man. Have a sense of humor. You know, no one has a sense of humor nowadays. They have a sense of hatefulness. You know? Okay, sorry. I love you guys. I'm just joking around. Not the Ram Little Gang. Okay. And then, yeah, much love, Lindsay. I agree. And then Sonia says, hi, Pockets. Hey, what up, Sonia? When did you sneak in? Girl, when did you get in here? 4 Virus is back. Guess who's back? Back again. And then, yeah, Karma says, we are living in a world full of lies. Well, the sooner we get the truth from the government, the more progress we can make towards the future. You guys know that there's certain political people who have actively, since the 80s, tried to dumb down Americans, tried to do other things to manipulate the system. And sadly, you're seeing the fruits of their labor. It's true. It's happened. What they were wanting to happen's worked. So what does that mean? Well, that means half the public are so gullible. Let's say that, uninformed, that they'll believe falsehoods. You could tell them the truth, like Andrew Basiago has, and other, but they want to believe, other dipsticks on Twitter who would. So. Anyways, 4 Virus says, hi, Sonia. And then Brittany says, sense of humor, question mark. More like nobody has any sense, period. Damn, that's a whole earth burn, Brittany. Damn, Brittany. That's Brittany, B-word. You know, anybody give you any crap, Brittany, just say that. It's because I'm Brittany, B-word. I say what I want, when I want, who I want. Stupid. And they're like, no, Brittany, don't let, you remember in the 80s, it goes, Hammer, don't hurt him. Now it's Brittany, don't hurt him, because she going, Sorry. The hell was I talking about, guys? Something cool. Something really cool. I'm pretty sure about that. Let's keep going. Sonia says that 405 or hello, and Brittany says LOL. All right, guys, check this out. All right, another one coming straight at your dome. Don't look at me like that. I told you I had live videos on. Another one, though, I want everyone to see these aren't available on YouTube and on my PacLives channel anymore, so I thought they deserved to be seen. And this one is Ogtelly's talking about certain technologies and advanced technologies. This is also from 2019, and that's when that clip we watched earlier of Andrew Basiago on that TV show called Studio 10. That's when that was, from 2019. So it's crazy, man. I was going to say, I was literally thinking about it when we were watching the video. If the government, or whoever, secret shadow government, whatever they're called, if they have this kind of technology, can they even use it anymore? Because if you go back now to the 90s or 80s or something, wouldn't you be introducing the Rona to that whole time period, or am I wrong? And then I was also thinking, does anyone remember when they actually uh, found out or discovered or labeled, whatever they call it, uh, the SARS virus? You know, the original, because the Corona is a variation of it. You know, when the original one came out, does anyone? Well, it was like during the '90s. Okay, if I'm not remembering wrong. So what does that tell you? That tells me if they're, maybe they have still been time traveling, but to the '90s or something, and they're just like introducing it into, I don't know, it's all kinds of mental, things you have to consider. People way smarter than me, going through certain things. So you guys be the judge. Check this video out. Speaking of smarter than me, we're about to check out the homie Healing Og, aka Og Telly's, talking about advanced technology. Shout out to him. Hope he's doing great. I heard he was healthy last I heard, so I hope he is. Sonia says, I thought you couldn't change the past. I mean, it's confusing. I don't know how that works exactly, but there have been certain things where, like even Andrew Basiago speaks on it, where they went back and tried to stop the assassination of Abraham Lincoln, and every time they went back, something happened. It was as if time was telling them that they couldn't be changed or something. But they did it like 24. What was it? What is Andrew Basiago speaks on it? They did it like 20 sometimes or 30 sometimes, and every single time they went back, like they would go back, give the guy a modern gun, and to stop the guy who assassinated him or shot him in the theater, right? And then the guy would get right in position, everything would be set up. He'd pull the gun out, and at the last second, it wouldn't work. It would like jam, and then it just kept stuff like that. One time the clip fell. It's like comedy. It's like a comedy movie. You guys ever seen Groundhog Day with Bill Murray? Yeah, that's kind of like soft disclosure about the programs, because that's kind of what it was like. It was like a comedy routine. Every time the dude would go back, something would malfunction. They gave him a blade one time, and literally right when he's trying to penetrate the dude, the blade broke in half. Just unexplainable. Like it's a comedy movie or something. Like, nope, whatever. Well, no matter what you do, you're not gonna. So that's kind of weird that you mentioned that, Sonia. I've heard that. So like I said, I'm not a physicist officially. I like to think I am, Sonia, an off-the-record physicist. But not officially. They haven't given me my degree yet. They said, you got to do 70,000 hours of physicist shit. And I said, hey, man, I'm not a nerd. I walked straight out of the classroom, Sonia. So you think that would just burn the bridge, right? I'm not. No. A month later, they sent me an honorary physicist degree because I was so cool, just because of my coolness. So you're welcome, University of Michigan. Sonia, they're great people over there. No, but it's very complicated. Sonia says they went and killed his parents. I mean, yeah, who knows what. I just know that every time they went, it was like, yeah, it was some crazy stuff. But we'll talk more about it. Check this one out. Og Telly's, the homie Healing Og. You be the judge. You know what I'm saying, Sonia, Brittany? 405 or Karma, Lindsay. Who else was in here? We had a lot of El Romero. Who else was in? All right, we'll be right back, guys. Check this video out. Worked a long, let me be clear. Worked a long and hard time on this. Time's not real, guys. Time is cyclical. It's like a circle. So something that happens down here, well, okay. You guys heard of the butterfly effect? That was a horrible movie. Didn't anybody watch that? You a nerd for that, Ashton Christopher Kutcher. Huh, now no hate, dog. No hate, but you can't act and you a nerd. You know what I'm saying, guys? No hate. You can't see me neither, dog. No hate. Don't report me, dog. I'm just kidding. Anyways, let's keep going. I like to smile at myself. You guys ever heard of that one comedian? What was his name? He was the greatest. But anyways, so every time he was ever out anywhere, any show or anything, he would always rip on the celebrities the hardest. What was his name? He was like the greatest comedian, but he died a few years ago. What was his? Don Rickles. That's what I want to be, the modern day Don Rickles, So anytime I see stupid Justin Timberlake or anybody, even The Rock. Okay, I can just talk shit to him because that's how funny I am. You know, but that's how funny Don Rickles was. You know, watch me do it wrong, and I'll just get into fights with people. They didn't laugh. The Rock broke him in half. Actually, he's not doing comedy anymore. Anyways, and then El Romero says Coucher. Is that Coucher? Yes. Check this out, guys. Let's not let him bring it down, El Romero. Let's not. Yeah. Check this out. You be the judge, ladies and gentlemen. From straight in the heartland of America is where I'm reporting from. Huh, El Romero, Sonia, Brittany. Okay? You want to judge me? You want to question me? This live stream? No, man. The heart of America, bro. I'm just kidding. What was I? I love you guys. Check this out. Shout out to Healing On. I hope he's doing great. Shout out to Andrew Basiago. And then later on, guys, you know God don't like ugly. You guys know that. But something I hate to do, but it's something I hate even more than doing videos about it, is the actual act of these people out here, like Apex TV and others, who are, they create these fake time travelers, you know, and a lot of them go viral. Usually, you know, literally you can go on Yahoo News and they'll be like, Noah from the year 20 whatever. So we're going to look at Noah the time traveler, and I'm going to show you guys why that's fake and how it's been debunked every which way but Sunday. And then, hey, what up, Ryan Peel? And then we're going to have a word about Apex TV. Like I said, I don't like doing it. Someone's got to do it. Obviously, it's the only video on YouTube exposing Apex TV that I've found. So unless you guys have found one, please show the link and share it, because I'm going to go subscribe to that person. I might send them a message and tell them of encouragement and tell them thank you. I'm glad I'm not alone. But we'll do that later. Check this one out before that, of Healing Og and Advanced Technology.
It is pretty much highly classified. This is supposed to be, all I can say is it's supposed to be the time where this is coming out now. Basically everything that we get that's disclosure, that is a leak or a conspiracy, is an intentional leak, where they're trying to get people to wake up to the fact of what's going on. For instance, starting some of these wars, they're saying that was literally to show people that wars are a fraud. That's the whole point. Look up Andy Perro, the Superman project.
Yes.
And all these other people. I don't want to go through the list and start naming people, but there's other people out there. So anybody listening, look this stuff up. There's people that have been there. There's people that are going through it. And it's a shame for everyone to look at me and go, oh my, because there's more people that you will never learn about until this is disclosed than there are people that you will be able to sit here and listen to. It's all an illusion, where they're not explaining that they have technology to make everything more powerful. Even internet and the computer, the original version, we could reach through and shake hands through the monitor. That was the first internet. They need us, we don't need them, and we're more powerful than they are. And humanity comes from a very high level of advancement. We didn't come from the level that they describe, and we're actually more powerful. And we come from a society that exists right now that they can't defeat. We're tricked into believing we're held hostage, and so that's the biggest secret, that humanity is an eternal, very advanced race, and we create and others steal. There's a lot of ancient information around, but in this point in history, a lot of it is erased or we have forgotten it. And so one way or another, it will come back into view. And this is just one of the ways. Humans are naturally high vibration, and what's happening right now is through the mass mind control and ritual abuse, the hiding or changing of information about our history, about where we come from, about how the societies work, that humans are kept in a very low state of mental vibration, of focus. And because of the nature of the universe, the mind plays a integral role in influencing the outcome of time and events. And so our minds are used against us through systems that are cleverly designed to keep our attention real low. When we communicate and our hearts are free to connect, our vibrations automatically go up, and the pain to produce, food or things like that, there is nothing compared to our capacity to feel joy and to love. And that's the nature of this reality and the nature of humans. And so that's the major aspect of this, and that everything, even to talk about negative things, lowers it, but to tell the truth is liberating, because sooner or later the truth will come out. And so it's better to see the truth now instead of living in an illusion only to figure out later all this time we were being deceived, or we were willfully deceiving ourselves. Like a hypnotic trance that people are in, where the media and politics and certain aspects of military or religion, that if we accept and pay attention, then our mind becomes a gateway for a darker entity, parasite, through the imagination. This is where manufactured consent, fake consent, comes into play, which is not allowed, but we must acknowledge that it's not allowed. That's how we get our power back. In the same sense, some of these parasites emit a vibration of pure fear. And so if we respond to that fear, it's like answering a knock at the door. It's like an invitation for them to come into our reality. If we stand strong, they can't access. The universe itself acts like an artificial intelligence. It creates systems of complex change and behavior until intelligence is formed, and it tries to continue developing that intelligence. So wherever we do not apply ourselves and take control, something else steps in and takes control. It's automatic in this physical universe. And so some say that a cosmic creator fell asleep to come up with new reality, new life, but had a nightmare in a way, and created the demiurge, which is like a parasite or a nightmare being that found humans and wants to feed on people, but in a way it's a test that people can overcome. Some don't like saying it's a test because it's very serious, although it's still just like a dream here. And I also want to say, this is not, we fought them. We seen them, we found them, we saw how they eat, we saw how they take people and make copies of the people and send those people into society. We saw how they invaded Earth in a previous age. We saw it. It's not something we think about, we see it all.
Alrighty, guys. Thank you for checking that one out. What do you think? Carmelie says they still haven't exposed all of the stuff they have done in the past. Everything is programmed and by the numbers. The number means the time as in by the clock. Well, have you seen the doomsday clock, Carmelie? Not good. Yeah, it's like a minute, then minute, which midnight is like the end of civilization as we know it, basically. And then they did another study. I'll have to bring that in. And what was it? Some kind of simulation they did, and some program or computer or something. They predicted the end of civilization by 2040. 2040. So that's pretty scary, and you never want to hear that. It'd be, different if, like, you're just, like, new to Earth. You didn't know anybody. Weren't related to nobody. But hopefully you guys, are similar to me. You have a lot of ties to Earth and the people. Generations upon generations of family. Probably like a lot of people. So you don't want to see it all go crumbled away like it's not, very invested in the Earth. Anyways, much love, Carmelie. Good comment. And then Sonia says The Matrix. Carmelie says Deja Vu. Carmelie says a glitch in the Matrix, a stitch in time. The Matrix. Yeah, is that from that's where that's from? Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for the comments. Karma, Sonia, El Romero, who else came in? I really appreciate it. We're going to watch one more video before I have to go, sadly. And it's about a 10-minute one, so I hope you guys give it a chance. It used to be on the original PacLives channel. A lot of these videos aren't available anymore because a lot of, what do you call it? People whined and complained. That's why. How do I put that eloquently? A bunch of babies. But, that's on me. I'm supposed to do it more cleverly or whatever, definitely not try to hurt anyone's feelings or nothing like that. So that's what the end goal is, give you information and not, definitely not be preachy and definitely not try to hurt nobody. So if I've done that, then I've done everything I could. But, there are streams where I go live and rant for 3 hours straight. Some people like those, Karma, Sonia, 405er. Yeah, I kind of like them, because after it's over, it's just you feel like, 10 pounds lighter. Just go sleep like a baby. Maybe it's just me. Who knows? And here's 405 says thumbs up. Carmelie says, could deja vu be us being exposed to time travel? Well, it's definitely probably got a lot to do with your mind. And they say, the mind is very complex organism. It's very strong. Like, I don't know if you know, there's really is basically. Og Telly's talks about it a little bit. It's basically the power of perception. Like, I talked about it before. Like, I've literally witnessed it. You ever take a piece of, like, double bubble or some kind of bubble gum, chew it up a little bit. I usually get about a bunch of it. It's like, the whole package. I just eat it, put it all in my like some kind of caveman person. But then, after the flavor's gone, 10 minutes or whatever, or most of the flavor's gone, I'll have like a soda. Like, back then I was drinking like Mountain Dew or something. And it was in a cup. I poured it from a bottle. And so somehow I walked away from it and I put my gum, I went, plopped it in there. The gum goes down while I'm there, rolling around for a minute, and then it starts making its way up. I leave the room, and I had like a webcam or something that was on or something, but I just noted, there was nothing happening on the webcam when I wasn't there. The gum was on the top. Nothing unusual. I come back into the room, and I'm doing something, and I happen to look over, and the bubble gum is, instead of being on top, it is finding its way to the bottom. And it keeps doing that, going from top to bottom. And that has to do with the power of perception. People have powers they don't even realize, and that's just like, yeah, the smartest people will say, like, tell you how powerful people are. But dumb people, not necessarily dumb, I'm just saying uneducated people who wouldn't know any better, they think it's, just like magic or mystical or not, they're like, not real, or, if it is real, they'd be the hardest ones believing in it. But, the truth about it is, in the future, they're going to show you, everyone, all of us, hopefully, that it's science, and anyone can learn it, and that's the beauty of it. So, it takes time, really, that's all it takes, and then once you learn about it, but that's the thing, is like, information is very valuable, and sometimes they don't want, they don't want me and you to. Anyway, good comment, Karma405, or Lindsay says, thanks, Puck. Oh, you're welcome. I love your streams, and I'm so grateful that you are here on the platform. You help more than you know. Oh, thank you, Lindsay. Yeah, I love you, fam. Well, it helps me, too, and I appreciate talking to you. So, yeah, the only time you'll catch me in, like, a really, foul mood is if I've done, like a stream and no one showed up, because that's, that's just lonely. But, you know, I try not to take it out on the people because you guys have been so great to me. So I will let you know that that's the only thing is, yeah, I really, now that we've done so much with the PacLives channel, you know, like this other channel, everything's littler and it's like, it feels like, you know, smaller, whatever. But, you know, in another way, like, this channel doesn't have any, you know, strikes against it. It's all good. We haven't, you know, but... Am I complaining too much, Lindsay? Thank you, fam. I apologize. You ever ask anyone? You give me an inch, I'm gonna just take it all the way, and I'm gonna just much love though. I can't, you know, I wouldn't be here without the great people. So thank you, and hopefully we'll get more subs. We're doing a giveaway at 1,000. We're giving away a shirt, probably a Funko. You know, I'm gonna probably go try to find this Rick and Morty Funko. They might have more. I think it's Cool Rick. Go try to give the one I got away or something. You know, just give something cool away to the great people. Thank you. You know, I told everyone if and when we get to 1,000 subscribers on the second channel, Lindsay, that like I said on the giveaway, I might throw a couple $20 bills in that, you know, into the prize package that I send out. We usually send 3 to 5 of them out, Lindsay. So and just, you know, let everyone know it's like usually a little over $100 shipping just to send it out. So, you know, that I want to let you guys know that's a big deal. You know, poor kid from Oklahoma. I couldn't believe it when I was at one time. I had the money though, luckily, but you know, you think like you send out a video game, it's like $2-3, right? So I stupidly thought a big T-shirt would be about the same weight as a video game, and it wasn't. It was like 10 video games. So I get there and like it's like, oh, this package that's, you know, pretty big because and it was every one. It wasn't just one, but it was like every one. And then there was even the one that went to Oklahoma. That'll be $14.72, and I was like, what? That's in Oklahoma City. And they're like, yep. Well, you're sitting. And then another one that was like to New York was like 22. It was a lot of money in shipping, though, guys. But I'll let you know that everyone who does a giveaway knows that. So don't let anyone, you know. The ones I see on YouTube, like you ever see those, they're way bigger than me. Channels, bigger than a lot of my friends' channels. And they'll be like, do you want to win an iPhone or $5,000? Comment. And then they tell you stuff that's not true. They go, the only way you can do it is if you watch the whole video. You comment and you like. There is no physical way that I know of for them to know if you watched the whole video or not. There's no way for them to know if you liked it or not. You understand? There is physically no way. All right, the only way they know is if you don't comment. Okay, then maybe that. And it's like, dude, don't lie to your audience. If you don't watch the whole, and you know, little kids who are like 8 years old, that works on them. They're like, oh, wow, I guess this guy somehow magically, he knows how long we're going to watch the video. No, kid, you know how the internet works? I mean, like I said, there are pretty hackers who could, but your favorite YouTuber is not hacking in and seeing it. Be sure to like it. He has no idea if you liked it, okay? The dude with 1,000,000 likes on his stupid video game video. He has no way of knowing who liked it and who didn't like it. And then he's telling you that you can only. Oh, it's deceptive. We don't play that crap around here. You know? Oh, it gets me mad. You didn't mean mad. Hey, what up, Kimmy? How you doing, fam? Hey, long time no see. Lindsay says, haha, no, you're fine. Much love to you. Thank you, Lindsay. El Romero says, crazy videos today. Thanks, fuck. Oh, yeah, they were good, though, right? So we got another one coming. It's kind of a big, you know, kind of a, it had, you know, a good little amount of views on, you know, and a bunch of cool comments on it. People were waiting, you know. It sounded like in the comments of the video, they were waiting for someone to, you know, this kid, he's on Yahoo News, and like his, and then you go look, and it's like real smart, respected researchers will take, you know, 30 minutes out of their day or, you know, from their real job. They'll go investigate this guy and others, and there is not a shred of evidence. They get debunked so quick your head will spin. But still, those 12 people online are, you know, it's crazy. You guys be the judge, though, so. Four Viruses, gotta go puck later. I'll see you later, buddy. Kimmy B says, it's great, though. Hey, Kimmy. Sonia says, facts. And Kimmy B says, good. Happy to see you. What's up, fam? So let's watch this Apex TV exposed, aka Noah the Time Traveler, debunked. Video, Kimmy B, what do you say? Yeah, we got Sonia, Lindsay, 405er, El Romero, Karma Lee. Who else was in it? Brittany. Brittany, it's Brittany B word. That's what I was saying earlier, Kimmy B. I look Brittany right in the face. Huh, Brittany? Where's Brittany at? I look Brittany right in her face, and I go, "It's Brittany B word." She didn't even. She smiled at me, Karma Lee. She likes me, Karma Lee. So it is what it is. I love you guys. Anyways, Carmelicia's Doctor Who. Who? Kimmy B says, let's go watch this video, guys, and then I probably have to leave, though. My baby girl's fixing to get off from school. Let me be clear. What if Barack Obama admitted one day? Let me be clear, guys. Andrew Basiago's telling the complete truth. It's time for truth. And then before you know it, like literally one time, you guys, I don't know if I told you guys, but speaking of that, I actually hate to joke about that. I try to never. It's crazy. I kept having the premonition over and over. Maybe it's from like a different dimension or alternate timeline or something. But right after Obama got sworn in, he was going to be giving a speech, and then all of a sudden someone was going to open fire, and they were going to miss him with every shot. But in the midst of him running away from the fire, and he's like dodging and stuff, and like the internet scumbags might turn that into like a meme, and they were like laughing about it, joking about it, when it's literally the president is being his life. And luckily that never happened, but I kept having that premonition. And another one I kept having, hopefully it doesn't happen, is Tom Brady playing for whoever, and he's like really old, he won't retire, and some dude takes his kneecaps out, and like literally they have it on HD film, and all you see is his his knees or his legs, how they bend regular. Well, all you see is like I'm bending backwards, and just being decimate. And I was like begging, like on the PacLives channel, I've done live streams over there before they were all taken down. I did live streams begging. I was like, Mr. Tom Brady, I love you from the days of Michigan, because I'm from Michigan. Please retire, And last year I thought it was going to happen. The year before that I thought it was going to happen. Every year I think it's going to happen. So finally, when he really did retire this year, I was like, oh, thank you, Jesus. You know what I'm saying? So it's weird. Anything I think I know or I remember it may have happened, or it could be, I blurt that ish out. That's why I'm like the dude who, maybe that's why I was getting migraines when I was. Lindsay says CERN is a concern. Damn, it rhymes. All right, guys, watch this video and we'll be right back, okay? Lindsay says the circle thing from CERN, the portal thing. Yeah, have you heard about that? I seen it in a South Park episode and other movies too. Lindsay says I'm going to watch some more about Andrew Basiago. Oh yeah, very interesting guy. He's a great, great man. All right, guys, I'll be right back. Pepper's got a pen or something. I got to get that out of his. Yeah, Carmelita says, yep, it's a Stargate. All right, check this out, guys. I'll be right back. Is time travel real? Many videos on the internet can be found about it, especially on YouTube. Today we're going to look at a case about a kid named Noah the Time Traveler. This story was brought to my attention by one of the websites I visit sporadically. It had this story about a time traveler named Noah who passed a lie detector test, made it sound like this was a legit time traveler from the year 2030. And Noah the Time Traveler supposedly had pictures and video and documents from the future. So it wasn't until I got to the very end of the story that I found out the, I guess you'd call it a twist ending. Yeah, so let me read the story real quick before I talk too much about it. Okay, and the story starts out, man claiming to be time traveler actually got predictions for 2019 correct. So as you can imagine, that sparked my intrigue. Alright, so it starts out. Noah the Time Traveler. Noah the Time Traveler surfaced on YouTube in late 2018, bringing with him a claim that he was a time traveler. Interviewed by supernatural YouTube channel Apex TV, Noah claimed that he had proof that he was from the year 2030, and he had come back and he supplied remnants from the future, such as a crumbled piece of paper that he claimed to be a library page from the year 2030. He had a number of fascinating yet warning predictions about the future of the world to share with humankind. The library pages. It's interesting to note that according to Noah, we will still be using books in 2030, something that seems highly unlikely at the rate we're going through trees, as well as all the technological alternatives. So then it starts giving Noah's predictions. So let's go here. Noah the time traveler talks about a climate crisis ahead. The story says, Noah warns that global warming will continue to worsen in the coming years, calling it a huge crisis, which will set off massive wildfires, as well as cause the sea levels to rise to a point where entire U.S. cities will be submerged underwater. We all already know that global warming is a threat, so these predictions don't actually sound completely off the mark. Noah warns that the world should stop its carbon emissions to attempt to save the world from the climate disaster. And it goes on, and these are some of the predictions he made. The aliens are coming. That's right, the alien invasion is upon us. According to Noah, it's in its early stages. Noah claimed that in January 2019, the number of UFO sightings would increase, signaling a new era in intergalactic relations. And then he says this begins what will become a couple decades, which gradually all discover the aliens are real. And then about the aliens, he says they come in peace. According to Noah, the extraterrestrial creatures are hard to describe, which is convenient, having what he calls bald skin and being slender-like and humanoid, but not at the same time, whatever that means. But don't worry, these aliens come in peace. Noah says that their arrival on Earth will be a positive development, ushering in an era of harmony for the world. All right, and then he talks about their planet, says it's a very confusing planet. Noah tells us the planet called Lewis 33, named after the person who will discover it, but it will be more commonly known as 369, which is its scientific name. According to Noah, this planet is very confusing, and that its atmosphere is full of nitrogen, which the aliens who hail from have become immune to. The nitrogen levels would be fatal to any humans who attempted to visit. The alien arrival is actually good news for humans. It will make the majority of humans on Earth unify as one race, causing the breakdown of geopolitics as we know it, basically form a mega country. He says once all humans identify as Earth residents, it's only a matter of time until the whole concept of countries goes out the window. Within the next decade, all the countries in the world will morph into one mega country. Alright, and these are just some of the predictions he made, you guys. Noah goes on and says, Noah says that the leader of the world will not be human. Rather, everything will be controlled by artificial intelligence. Okay, and it says Noah goes on to predict a future president. One of Noah's more unusual and specific predictions was his claim about the future president of the United States. He claims that in November 2028, Yolanda Renee King, the granddaughter of Martin Luther King Jr., will be elected president, all at the ripe age of 20 years old. And of course it goes on to say current laws require that a person must be at least 35 to be president, but Noah says the laws will have changed in the future. Moving on. Noah claims in the future we'll all be connected to computers and we'll have a chip implanted in us called the One, and it will increase brain power once installed in the human brain. Noah claimed to have a chip installed in his wrist. And then this Noah the time traveler says he's been hunted by the government. It says he was an employee of a government project, and he was fired, and thus he got stuck in the present, no way getting back. He says in 2028 time travel will be common knowledge, lest you think that Noah is not the real deal. He has brought back a number of relics from the future to prove his legitimacy. In one video, he presents a black amorphous blob that he claims is made up of millions of nano robots. And then he also took a lie detector test in order to prove to the world that he was legitimate, but they didn't tell you in the story. I found out later that it wasn't a legit, lie detector test. It was basically like a phone app that you could do. It has no legitimacy at all to it, so that's a shame. All right, and the more I was reading over this, I was hopeful at first, and I started getting mad by the end of it, and I'll let you guys know why. This Noah time traveler claims that by June 2019, we'll all have chips that would enable handicapped or otherwise paralyzed people to walk again, while many technological advances indeed will be made for the handicapped community. And he says he predicts the arrival of robotic eyes, which would enable the blind to fully regain their eyesight. Unsurprisingly, June 29 is come and gone, and we have yet to hear about either of these inventions. Maybe he meant June 30, 19. Okay, and it goes on and says Noah predicts extreme snowstorms, bad weather. He says by February 2019, multiple U.S. cities would be wiped out, yet February 2019 has come and gone, and there's been no cities completely wiped out by any storms. So yeah, so this story went viral and a lot of people believed it, so I'm going to read it all to you. Noah also predicted we would journey to Mars. He said humans will succeed in skipping town to Mars and making it habitable. Okay, and then his story went viral like I just mentioned. Noah's predictions were covered by numerous news channels, radio shows, and social media figures. A surprising number of people heard about his predictions, and many even took him seriously. His series of videos, each one with a new set of revelations or pieces of evidence from the future, were published on the Apex TV YouTube channel. He was even featured in a Japanese newspaper, which is featured in one of his videos. Could Noah the Time Traveler actually be legit? And then we soon find out that, surprise, no, he's not legit. It was all a hoax. The answer, unsurprisingly to many, is no. In late July 2019, Noah finally released a video revealing that the entire thing had been a hoax. Can't say we were surprised. He released a video revealing his face and claiming that his name was actually Dennis Bell and that he was 16 years old. He claimed that Apex TV had wanted him to sign a non-disclosure agreement. I can't do the stupid character anymore, he said. I have to get rid of this looming feeling that's above me that keeps me scared of being exposed. Who's the real Noah? What then developed was perhaps even stranger than the content of Noah's predictions. The video was deleted, and then Apex TV posted another video of a completely different person, claiming that it was actually he who was the real Noah. Okay, and this guy confessed, saying he made it all up. So I think that, to me, looks like Apex TV's trying to save themselves by having their own actor or fake guy come out and claim it. He's the real. Okay, so we'll keep going. This new guy is named Jason, and he's claiming that he made it all up, and he said he was surprised when Apex actually posted one of his videos, and it became a viral sensation. I couldn't believe it, he said. Just like that, I was a famous time traveler. After the first video, posing as a time traveler became an unhealthy addiction for him, as the only positive feedback he was getting in life at the time was from being this Noah character. What's more, he claims to have actually started believing his own stories, that the government was after him and he could see the future. And then at the end of the story, it says, we hope he gets help in the present. That leaves one question: how did he pass the lie detector test? He claims that it was a combination of believing he was telling the truth, a medication he was taking to be calmer, and the fact that the lie detector test used by Apex TV wasn't the best. Yeah, you could say that again. He then apologized to anyone who may have been hurt by his lies. Hopefully this time traveler from the future will get the help he needs to fully return to the present. In the meantime, we'll keep an eye out for those UFOs. Okay guys, so this went viral and fooled a lot of people, and I've actually seen one, hopefully there's more, but I saw a video of somebody calling out Apex TV about how they're fake. They have over 1 million subscribers. It's pretty ridiculous. All their videos are fake, and now they're making fake alien videos. So this is definitely the biggest problem in the paranormal community, because people who search out the paranormal, who are trying to investigate the unknown, a real cryptozoologist or anybody legit probably wouldn't just air any random person's video on their channel like Apex TV does. So I'm probably going to make another video follow-up talking about how Apex TV is a joke. Basically, they're a bunch of fakers, and it just makes people like me and everybody else in the community look bad, okay? Anybody who's familiar with my channel will know how much we had to fight and claw to get the little amount of subscribers and the little amount of notoriety we have, okay? Because we're trying to share the truth, legit stuff, and if it's not legit, I'll update it and tell you, okay? I have no problem if I'm wrong admitting it, okay? Apex TV, the fact that they tried to get this guy after he came out, or before, it doesn't matter when, but they tried to get this guy to sign a non-disclosure agreement. That goes to tell you they know it's fake. They know it's all BS. They don't care. They like the 500,000 to 10 million views they get every video. It's pretty disgusting. So all I would tell you guys is demand better. That's all I do. I'm not subscribed to Apex. I never would. You know, yeah, some of their videos are entertaining, but I mean, you could go do the same thing if you set it up with your friend and I mean, I went to school with people who made videos way better than Apex TV. Them morphing in and out of places and, traveling through time, making it look like they're traveling through time, okay? I went to school with people that would put these Apex guys to shame, All right, so that's these guys who are making videos and stuff, who've been trained in making videos. These are the best ones we have out here, I think, to help us debunk all these Apex TV and other fakes out here. So let me know what you think, you guys. Like I said, I'm going to try to come up with another video talking about this fake channel, Apex TV. It's pretty despicable. It's all about the money for them, you can tell, and somehow they have been verified by YouTube. I don't even understand that. That just goes to tell you YouTube doesn't care about the truth either. It's just worried about views too. So hit that like if you agree with me on that. And all I can tell you is don't support people like Apex. They don't care what you guys think or know. It's all a show. And none of it ever lets you know. They're just out here trying to fool people. If they put in the description or somewhere spoof, parody, hoax, fake, then hey, if you could still get those kind of views with fake videos and everyone knows it, more respect to you. But they won't, and they don't. And it's despicable and it's sickening. This Apex channel should be gone. It shouldn't even be around anymore. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching the video. Much love out there to all the real ones.